right, hello OAS family. It's time for another video book review. We are re-reviewing The Method of Painting Animals by Chi-Mao, because when we did this before, it was sort of early on in our book reviews, and I just wanted a little bit higher quality video and maybe a little bit different take on the content. So before we get into the actual body of the book, we're going to talk about the general statistics. The book is 8 1/4 inches wide by 11 3/4 inches high, and it has approximately 141 pages and has text in both Chinese and English. So we're gonna, without further ado, we're gonna get into the book. There is a biography on the artist here. And interestingly enough, Chi-Mao is sort of like a East meets West kind of painter in the fact that he trained quite rigorously in Western drawing, and then took the ideas of realistic rendering that was central to sort of Western painting and influenced that using traditional Chinese painting tools and techniques as well. So really a true sort of East-West painter, and I think that makes his work very unique. So the first, here's a table of contents, and you can see there's a lot of different animals covered here. He goes over horse, donkey and mule, cattle. There's a Chinese ox, a water buffalo, goat, squirrel, deer, rabbit, cat, dog, and camel. And the first subject that is covered is horse. That is a particular interest of our family, the Ye family. That is our family tradition, and so it is nice to see other artists' depiction of this classic subject. So we have a couple more abstract style paintings here. And we have this running horse done in profile, and then one galloping from behind. There are quite thoughtful writings here. Not always, you know, when the books, sometimes when they make these books, they just put together the work of the artist and then have a separate copywriter make up the writing. And so the writing can be quite just like a throw-in, but I do like the writing in this book. There are some important ideas that are highlighted here in the writings. Here is a section here where talks a little bit about like the anatomy, and uses you can see some like Western drawing techniques to kind of show the spine of, or the modeling of the actions of the animal. Here's a couple different ideas of depicting horse racing from behind. And then here's a first rendering that we see with a horse and a rider. So this is a section about standing posture. We start to get into hooves here. So, you know, these horses have very distinct legs, very athletic, beautiful legs, and we see the depiction here going from this sort of simplest line and shapes all the way down to the final depiction. Some standing horses. This is a section where he talks about knowing when to stop, you know, avoiding the tedious adding of strokes that basically can take away from the life and spontaneity of the painting and the subject. So now we have a more a style that is more focused around lines. And then here we talk about some, he shows some old Tang Dynasty or some older works from a master artist. I think yeah. So this is like Tang style figure painting. And then different view of the horse here. This is coming for fodder. And then some more postures here shown in this more abstract style that focuses more on the shape strokes. And then a galloping horse. And you can see the diversity in styles. Some of his work is quite abstract, but he can also you can see the strength of his drawing skill when he chooses to show more detail. And so this is a really nice combination where he like blends the two styles, where he shows like very detail, and then as the subject gets farther away from the point of view, he gets more abstract. This is pairs of horses. And now we get into some finished compositions where you can see his use of color and his use of other elements to provide context for the horse paintings. And we're moving on to donkey or mule, donkey and mule. So it's interesting for him to cover, animals that have similar anatomy to horses, but you definitely have like these ideas of the longer ears for the donkeys and the mules. So it is kind of interesting to see the clarity of depiction when it comes to that, and how you can very clearly tell in his emphasis of the body perspective and the ears that he is now talking about a donkey, mule versus a horse. Now we go into cattle. Beautiful abstract renderings here. Lots of skill shown with these like shape strokes, and then just this precise use of line work and detail to kind of anchor the depiction and provide that clarity in just the right places. And a finished composition here. And then now we get into the Chinese ox. And here you can see him exploring the subject in more of a drawing style, and then on the left, definitely showing a more abstract style. Again, more line drawings here where he's showcasing his these drawing techniques where he's simplifying the object as just a simple like a simple geometric shape. And so this is a very nice technique for those of you who want to paint abstract, is to start in a more detailed way and then to basically simplify the rendering. It is, sometimes when we think about abstract painting, we just think, oh, the artist just goes from, nothing to this brilliant abstract rendering, just a few strokes, and it's just like spills out of him completely spontaneously in the moment. And that is definitely the feeling of many abstract paintings, but from a process standpoint, you can see that there is usually a bit more rigor in getting to that final depiction, starting with a more detailed idea and then paring things away, pulling things back, eliminating the things that are not necessary. And then it's also good to mention that the ox is a zodiac symbol, so it has symbolism in Chinese culture. And you can see that in the more weight that it's given as far as, you know, pages and features here in the book. And we see pairs, sort of like cow and calf kind of renderings. And then this is a nice, you know, a stage rendering where you can see this line work, and then you can see these other depictions. So this line work is kind of almost like a sketch, and then he has these different stages depicted as 1, 2, 3. So this would be 1, this would be 2, this would be 3. Now we're getting into water buffalo, also a very iconic subject in Chinese painting. Lots of depictions. This sort of child on a water buffalo is a very iconic scene that you see depicted a lot in both mythology and in real life, and in paintings. Talking a little bit about the head of the water buffalo, you can see the distinctive long horns that are shown, these long curved horns. This is a exercise where he shows the different angles of the head and different facings that are possible in these depictions. Such beautiful. This is a very nice build-up here. This is the time where he's showing a different depiction due to age. So sort of an older version of the animal, and you could see the choices that he chooses to highlight and depict this idea of the aging animal. Again, we have this idea of mother and calf here. And once again, we have this format of the sketch, and then we have the first stage of the painting, and then the second, and then the third. Quite an ample section on this water buffalo here. It shows you how important it is to the culture and how often it was used in agriculture. Now we get into goats. You know, goats have such personality, and it is kind of delightful to see the personality of the animal captured here. Really vivid ink work here. So you can see lots of contrast, that not afraid to use that dark ink, but also showing these tonal variations that give dimension to the piece. different renderings, different ages of the animal mixed with sketches. Now we get into Squirrel here. Very cool because of the squirrel has this bushy tail, so it was really nice to see the style in which that is depicted. Really exciting element to choose to depict in this style because of the opportunity to use texture. And you can see that is just such these sort of large strokes that finish with these like flying white of texture. Such a great style of depicting that squirrel tail. Now we get into deer. Some line drawing showing different facings here. And we show the bucks with the horns and the does that are without the prominent horns. And some color work here. And then we get into rabbit, another zodiac animal. And the faces of the rabbit are depicted here because it's a smaller animal. So you can show a lot of character in the face of a rabbit. So it's nice that there is some more focus on the face of the animal in this section on rabbit. Now we have a cat. Cats are really great subjects for this because of how well their body shape lends itself to more abstract work. You know, these house cats are really nice subjects for this, like more abstract shape ink painting. And you can see here that's just really wonderfully done. And here's some line sketches for something a little bit more detailed. Now we get into dogs. The variety of dogs is pretty amazing. You know, it's all coming from this like wild wolf, and you know, in a very short amount of time you can see the selective breeding has just produced these dramatically different, you know, dachshunds and dalmatians and all kinds of labradors and all kinds of different dogs. So here we have the last animal feature subject is camel. You know, China is a huge country and it has very diverse landscapes, and some of it is desert. You know, there's like the Gobi Desert, this area, and so we have this section that's on camel. Again, a really wonderful subject to show in this abstract ink style. So that is it. That is Method of Painting Animals by Chi-Mao. And if you want to get this book, you can purchase it at our website at orientalartsupply.com. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, we wish you happy painting.